जिस दिन हम शाम को पहुंचे थे रात को we heard a siren, so but nothing, it was a very short one. They said it's okay again. But again building had a bunker, a safe room. We were given instructions कि वहाँ से वहाँ जाना. She was actually a survivor in sense she lost her husband in that October 7th incident. Ella, she was narrating, she was actually explaining things. Suddenly she said a personal incident, then she went off into her this thing. And it actually showed how resilient and how strong she was. Their kids, they have 4 kids. And she was actually carrying the 4th kid when that incident happened. So, there's the resilience. Again, of course, community supporting her, all of that. Who lost her daughter and who actually became quite emotional. They saw the rocket land in a ground where children were playing.
वेस्ट एशिया, हम में से सारे ही लोग वेस्ट एशिया, उस पूरे रीजन को बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट, मिसाइल अटैक्स, ब्रेकिंग न्यूज़ के हिसाब से ही जानते हैं. हम इतने अकस्टम्ड हो गए ना वेस्ट एशिया को ऐसे देखने के लिए कि हम ये भूल गए हैं कि वॉर के पीछे भी रियल लाइव्स हैं, असली ज़िंदगियां हैं. वहाँ पे भी बच्चे रहते हैं, वहाँ पे भी फैमिलीज़ रहती हैं. जो सोल्जर वहाँ पे लड़ रहे हैं वो भी इंसान हैं, उनकी भी फैमिलीज़ हैं. और पिछले कुछ सालों से जब से वेस्ट एशिया में क्राइसिस चल रहा है, चाहे वो हमास इज़राइल का हो, चाहे वो ईरान यूएस का हो, हम सबको बहुत सारे वेस्ट एशिया के एक्सपर्ट्स टीवी पे और यूट्यूब पे मिले हैं. पर आज मैं आपके सामने एक ऐसे एक्सपर्ट को लेकर आई हूँ जो सिर्फ स्टूडियो में बैठ के अपना एनालिसिस नहीं दे रहे हैं, जिन्होंने सिर्फ अपनी रिपोर्ट्स टीवी पे या इंटरनेट को देख के अपना एनालिसिस नहीं बनाया है, बल्कि मैं ऐसे इंसान से आज आपको इंट्रोड्यूस कराऊंगी जो खुद ग्राउंड ज़ीरो पे गए, वहाँ पे लोगों से मिले, वहाँ पे लोगों की कहानियाँ सुनी. सो आई एम डिलाइटेड टू बी जॉइंट बाय मिस्टर दिनकर पेरी. He is fellow defense studies in Carnegie, India, and also he was a journalist earlier for more than a decade. Dinakar Peri, thank you so much for joining us for this podcast here in So All That Matters.
Thank you, Diksha. Thank you for having me on the show.
दिनकर, सबसे पहले मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहती हूँ कि हम लोग जो भी टीवी में देखते हैं और आपने जो फर्स्ट हैंड वहाँ जाके एक्सपीरियंस किया, वॉज देयर अ डिफरेंस इन दैट? क्या वही असली कहानी है जो हमें टीवी पे दिखती है?
Yes and no. Some things are captured, which is, देखते हैं, it's still a way of knowing what's happening, yes, but ground reality always differs. Ground, because see, there it's lives, there it's people, beyond geopolitics, beyond politics. There are lives, there are common people who, जो अपने ज़िंदगी जीने के लिए कोशिश कर रहे हैं. In sense, war, normalize हो जाता है. After a point, sirens are part of life. I'm talking about Israel, but also that's the case with entire Middle East or West Asia, as India calls it, in the last few months since the conflict, or the bigger conflict began. Sirens have been just literally moving beyond Israel, for example, UAE or other countries, which everyone thought was a safe hub. हम सबको पता था कि लगता था कि वो सेफ है, हमेशा ये रहा कि वो सेफ है, बट वो बबल बर्स्ट हो गया in a way. We'll come to that probably बाद में. So sirens have become a part of daily life, and वो एक चीज़ था जहाँ पे Israel, I was in Israel, 5 दिन का ट्रिप था, facilitated by the Israeli embassy. So we went to Tel Aviv, we went to Jerusalem, we went to south of Israel, Gaza crossing, and north of Israel, near the Golan Heights and the bordering areas. So we met people, जैसे आपने mention किया था, वहाँ कुछ सर्वाइवर से भी हम मिले थे, उनसे बातचीत हुआ था, उनका कहानियाँ सुने थे हम. So एक चीज़ है, one, ये पिछले October 7 मैसेकर जो इसराइल में जो हुआ था, हाँ, तो वो एक नया पैराडाइम लेके आया फॉर इसराइल. इसराइल पॉलिसी वाइज इज वन, एक चीज़ है, बट लोगों के लिए भी, पब्लिक के लिए भी. See, Israel has always been in the middle of something, वो चलता रहा उनका. They have been, more quite proactive in terms of addressing their, threats. या आप गाजा में हमास और गाजा हो या हिजबुल्लाह लेबनान में हो,
या
और
हूतीज
बाकी
यमन में हो.
हाँ, बाकी ओवरऑल रीजन में भी इनफैक्ट है उनका काफ़ी पूरा नेबरहुड रीजन के साथ ही डिफरेंसेस ही है अलग अलग लेवल्स पे जो भी हो. तो एक कॉन्फ्लिक्ट नॉर्मलाइज हो गया अभी. जैसे लोग हमें कहे थे साइरन बज जाती है, सबका एसओपी है, पर पीपल आर जस्ट यूज्ड टू इट. उनको पता है कि हर जगह शेल्टर्स है, घंटी बजती है, साइरन बजती है, दे गेट अ वार्निंग, और वार्निंग आती है तो दे जस्ट जो भी कर रहे हैं दे स्टॉप, रन टू द शेल्टर्स. एंड वंस दिस थिंग स्टॉप्स दे वेट फॉर 10 minutes. ये भी हमें बोला, द फर्स्ट थिंग वी वर टोल्ड वंस वी वेंट देयर सर कि होटल में भी ब्रीफिंग दिया था कि शॉर्टली 2 मिनट का कि ये करना है.
आपने होटल की बात की, मैं आपको यहाँ रोकूंगी क्योंकि आपने बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट यहाँ पे उठाया. मैं आपको वापस इजराइल लेके जाती हूँ. आप फिजिकली वहाँ गए थे, अब मेंटली लेके जाते हो. आप जैसे ही प्लेन जैसे ही वहाँ पे लैंड हुआ, वहाँ से आप अपना अपना मेरे को अकाउंट बताइए. आप जैसे ही उतरे अपने प्लेन से, आपने अपना सामान लिया, फिर आपका सीक्वेंस ऑफ इवेंट्स क्या था?
इंटरेस्टिंग रिकलेक्शन. हाँ, सो वी वर बिग टीम, 12-14 लोगों की टीम है. 2 एम्बेसी वाले भी थे साथ में जो कोऑर्डिनेशन के लिए. पर बिकॉज हमें एम्बेसी वाले लेके गए हैं, वी हैड थोड़ा इमिग्रेशन में फैसिलिटेशन किया था. फिर भी थोड़ा टाइम लगी क्योंकि प्रोसीजर थोड़ा रिगरस है. द क्वाइट
इंडियंस के लिए भी?
इन जनरली इमिग्रेशन प्रोसीजर काफ़ी रिगरस है
ओके.
बिकॉज थ्रेट्स है तो दे आर रिगरस. एंड वन थिंग इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट वहाँ पे, जैसे जहाज वी वर ऑन अप्रोच लैंड करने के लिए, बस वी वर ऑन इट. एज आई वॉज लुकिंग आउट ऑफ द विंडो ऑन माई लेफ्ट साइड, विंडो सीट पे विंडो सीट लिया था बिकॉज मुझे बाहर देखना था. सो अमेरिकन मिलिट्री टैंकर्स फॉर ऑल लाइंड अप देयर, मिड एयर रिफ्यूलर्स.
ओके.
पूरी मतलब मैंने 17-18 जहाज गिना था मैंने,
ओके.
मिड एयर रिफ्यूलर्स. एंड इंटरेस्टिंगली रिटर्न में वो थोड़ा कम हुए,
ओके.
मे बी बिकॉज MOU साइन हुआ था, MOU अनाउंस हुआ था व्हेन वी वर देयर, जब हम वहाँ थे.
आप अपने डेट्स बता सकते हैं जब आप थे?
जून 14 तारीख को हम वहाँ पहुँचे थे, संडे को
ओके.
दोपहर को हम वहाँ पहुँचे थे. और 19 फ्राइडे दोपहर को हम वहाँ निकले थे, आफ्टरनून इनफैक्ट. अब आते हैं टेक ऑफ हुए थे वापस.
Okay.
और सैटरडे मॉर्निंग वी रीच, सैटरडे एक हफ्ता वी रीच बैक टू दिल्ली.
Okay.
सो दैट वाज द ब्रॉड टाइम फ्रेम. सो उसी बीच में काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट डेवलपमेंट्स हो चुके थे वहाँ पे, इन सेंस दी या इसराइल लेबनान का जो, बिकॉज इसराइल का ऑफेंसिव चल रहा है लेबनान में, वो क्यों. सो क्विकली टू विल कम टू दी रेड लाइन्स इन अ वे. सो अभी क्या क्या हुआ है, इसी के बीच कॉन्फ्लिक्ट चल रही थी. अक्टूबर सी द टाइम लाइन्स, October 7 was a major milestone, inflection point कहो, milestone कहो. Forever it has changed the neighborhood in some ways. Because वहाँ भी conflict हुआ है, इसका precursor actually October 7 है, in so many ways. Because वहाँ से things went to a different level. And in a way, उसका US में Trump being the president also kind of added to it, because Trump gave the bandwidth in many ways for Israel to
Retaliate.
accomplish or achieve lot of objectives they had set for themselves.
Okay.
जो for example hitting Iran's nuclear program जो पिछले साल हुआ था, they hit the nuclear facilities. US actually deployed bunker busters, B2s came in, हमने visuals देखे थे उसका. So वो सब पिछले साल हुआ. So this is actually again a further follow up to that, fully what Trump ने कहा कि regime change करना है, denuclearize करना है और regime change करना है. That was the objectives they set out for. वो कहाँ गए बात अलग है, that's a different
We'll
thing.
come to it, हाँ.
They meandered through, तो नतीजा कुछ और ही निकला बाद में, on the ground. And in a way putting Iran, making Iran stronger in so many ways than it was before.
We have seen a different side of Iran.
So now things have, the regional dynamics have changed. So the end state as on today is the regional dynamics have changed. So in between a lot has happened in this short time frame. So in that 5 days when we were there, incidentally, coincidentally, MOU तभी हुआ था, formalized हुआ, that digitally sign भी हो गया था, all of that. That changed a lot of round realities. And जो हमने इनफैक्ट बातचीत पे हम कहे थे, we tried to raise it, और have a conversation on the MOU per se, or some of Iran's tactics, etc. Responses were in different this thing, but there were a few common threads, if I can
Okay.
say. Some core concerns remain genuinely, from a public sense or a national security sense, there are genuine concerns. वो है, they remain. For example, disarming of Hezbollah. Lebanon border में, see, Israeli army, in fact, हम border पे गए थे, Israeli army is sitting, you know, Golan Heights में, some of the vantage points. Israeli army is sitting there as we speak. And देर अनाउंस भी किया, द डिफेंस मिनिस्टर और बाकी लोगों ने भी कहा कि वो इवन इफ यूएस सेज वो वापस नहीं आएंगे वहाँ से टिल देयर सिक्योरिटी कंसर्न इज एड्रेस्ड, विच इज डिजार्मिंग ऑफ हिजबुल्ला और अ गैरेट सिक्योरिटी गारंटी. उसी का फिर प्रपोजल हुआ. सो अगेन कमिंग बैक, सो कोर कंसर्न दैट रिमेन्स ए कोर कंसर्न. देन फ्रॉम द इजरायली पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, इजराइल्स ईरान्स न्यूक्लियर प्रोग्राम, विच ब्रॉडली एक तरीके से MOU में उसका रेजोल्यूशन नहीं है. दे सेड कि लार्जर न्यूक्लियर इशू विल बी रिजॉल्व्ड इन द फाइनल एग्रीमेंट. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ उसको थोड़ा लीवे दिया वहाँ पे. सो क्या होगा वो देखना पड़ेगा, बट दैट रिमेन्स एन इशू. दैट सिर्फ इसराइल के लिए नहीं, एवरीवन इन द नेबरहुड, बिकॉज नाउ जो पहले कभी नहीं हुआ, इस बार हो गया कि व्हाट इज ईरान हिटिंग लिटरली एवरी कंट्री इन द नेबरहुड.
मैं आपसे वही पूछना
So
चाह रही
that
थी.
has now that's a concern for everyone. So that leaves open the dynamics of how engagements will further move on. Because now Iran definitely has an advantage. It's in a stronger position now. Nuclear program, their ballistic missile program. So every country has the right to the self-protection and all of
itself.
that is one. But the point is, that's definitely a concern for the neighborhood. That has been a concern for the entire neighborhood or all countries, and more so Israel. So that's again as seen by the Israel and the बाकी कंट्री जो आसपास है, पड़ोसी है उनके लिए वो मिसाइल प्रोग्राम इज अ कंसर्न. सो उस पर क्या होगा, क्या नहीं होगा देखना पड़ेगा. वो दुनिया के लिए एक कॉमन कंसर्न है, स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मुज. दैट अगेन रिमेन्स अ कंसर्न की दैट्स वो पूरी दुनिया के लिए कंसर्न है.
लेकिन जैसे आप मुझे यहाँ बता रहे हैं, जब आप वहाँ पहुँचे, आपने जैसे बताया कि आप वहाँ पहुँचे, इमिग्रेशन बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग टाइट था, तो क्या आपने वहाँ सायरन सुने अपने पूरे स्टे में?
नो, हमने उसमें नहीं सुना. प्रॉब्ली क्योंकि एक तरीका सीज फायर चल रहा है, तो वायलेशंस है, बट फिर सीज फायर हैज़ लार्जली हेल्ड एक्सेप्ट ईरानी लेबनान में. इस तरफ तो ब्रॉडली सीज फायर हैज़ बीन इन प्लेस. सो इसकी वजह से हो, and MOU formalization, all of that. So सायरन तो हमने सुने नहीं है. बट ऑन दैट नोट काफ़ी जनता ने काफ़ी पब्लिक आसपास जो दुकान में या कहीं भी हो ऐसे बात कर रहे थे. एंड एक चीज़ है, देयर इज अ न्यू फाउंड रेस्पेक्ट फॉर इंडियंस इन इजराइल.
ओह ओके.
आई मीन वी हैव नोन कि इजराइल आते हैं, कंस्क्रिप्शन के बाद इजराइल में कंस्क्रिप्शन है, मतलब मैंडेटरी मिलिट्री सर्विस है, कंपलसरी मिलिट्री सर्विस 18 साल के बाद. Men 2 years, men 2 years 8 months, women 2 years. का ज़्यादा ट्रेंड है. इंडिया इज अमंग द फ्यू कंट्रीज कंस्क्रिप्शन के बाद ब्रेक है, फॉर मिलिट्री सर्विस, यू अर्न सम मनी, सो दे वांट अ ब्रेक बिफोर दे गो टू यूनिवर्सिटी और एजुकेशन के लिए. सो ज़्यादातर इंडिया आते हैं, धर्मशाला हो या गोवा हो. वी हैवंट सीन दैट. दैट्स वन थिंग. सो दैट्स सीन एज अ मोर हॉलीडे डेस्टिनेशन वगैरह. बट largely because of the Indian position, Indian statements, Indian Prime Minister was in Israel.
So आप कह रहे हैं कि वहाँ के नॉर्मल लोगों में इंडियंस के
वही
लिए
कह रहा
ज़्यादा
हूँ.
रिस्पेक्ट बढ़ गई
So
है?
because of all of these factors, India probably remains among the few countries which is very, very positively
Respected and
positioned, positioned in the larger scheme of, the larger matrix. So the amount of respect people had for India, or the fondness with which they talk to about Indians. कहीं देख के काफ़ी लोग बोलते हैं आप इंडियन हो. पूछा था मैंने ऐसे ही, कि हाँ अरे इंडिया तो ऐसी ही है, they had really good things or positive things to say. And as we were told by officials also, that has actually gone, seen a significant increase, gone up significantly public perception में in recent years.
I think 2023 के जब उनके ऊपर
Generally
attack हुआ था,
last few
उसके बाद
years,
से, हाँ.
yeah. तो काफ़ी ऑफिशियल से बात हुआ था, तो उन्होंने भी कहा कि हाँ ये काफ़ी बढ़ गया है. एंड अब इंडियन वर्कर्स भी वहाँ जा रहे हैं.
हाँ ये तो
हाँ. सो एक वो भी एक एस्पेक्ट है. एंड इंडियंस आर नाउ बीइंग वेलकम बोथ इन दैट सेंस ऑल्सो, बिकॉज अगेन October 7 के बाद बाहर के जो मिडिल ईस्टर्न वर्कर्स है, काफ़ी लोगों को वहाँ से बोला निकलने के लिए, एंड दे हैव टू बी रिप्लेस्ड, skilled, semi-skilled in different levels. So Indians were among the, and Asians भी है और भी ASEAN, Southeast Asian countries, but Indians, are generally quite preferred, and we have actually met quite a few of them.
Okay.
They were also generally quite happy with the work conditions वगैरह, they were happy with it. They were facilitated, they get them saving decent money. They actually, as I said, they're also given respect, so they were also happy with that. इत्तेफाक से कि I just met some तेलुगु speaking, some कोई हिंदी बात करते थे, यार आप यहाँ से हो, ये आप
Regional
कहाँ से हो,
connect,
ये
हाँ.
वो करके वो पैसे पूछा, वो बातचीत हो गई. So they were also generally quite happy with the way things were. So वो भी एक added tangent है.
क्योंकि आपने बोला कि आपने वहाँ पे लोगों से इंटरेक्शन किया, वहाँ पे आपकी बातचीत हुई, तो कोई ऐसा इमोशनल मोमेंट जो आपके लिए रहा?
Emotional in sense, you again, when it comes to leaving all the geopolitics सब छोड़ के, just as
human
people,
beings.
as humans, देखोगे ना, for example, when we to South Israel गए, उनका एक concept है kibbutz. It's like a community living.
Okay.
They stay together. In fact, they have their own fields, they have their own, so say small industries वगैरह, सब लोग वही काम
Farmers
करते.
बोल सकते हैं वहाँ पे?
No, they work. वहाँ रहते हैं. They work in the fields. They work in the processing. They have common kitchens. Schools भी अंदर ही है. It's a good. I mean, they have picked up, and in fact, especially after October 7th, kind of kibbutz got a new craze or recognition in some ways, and there also a certain stand of people who stand of economic status who are allowed to, because you don't have to become a dependent on that. You have to contribute in both ways.
Okay.
The community contribute gives to you, but you also contribute to the community. Obviously,
You
you're
have to
living
give
together.
back to the community.
It's both ways. So to ensure all of that, there is a certain standard that's maintained. But it's a good concept. So we went to one such kibbutz close to the border.
Okay.
There on the southern Israel. But वहाँ पे we had lunch in one of the kibbutz, and then we met a lady who explained the concept to us. She was actually a survivor in sense.
Okay.
She lost her husband
In
that October 7th incident, because
Okay.
the kibbutz have a security team,
Okay.
first responder team. Because again, compulsory military service, everyone has done military.
हाँ.
But then उसमें से they identify, I mean, if you knew, उस time पे there were 10 people who were identified as the first responder for security if required. No one thought, it will transpire this way.
Okay.
So the people, the terrorists or these guys who came in, that the terrorists, incoming terrorists who infiltrated or crossed and were coming in, were much, much bigger. So the lady's husband was, lost his life there, and
Okay.
how she recounted, and how it was actually, how it all rolled out. They went in, responded, but then everyone is in the dark. They were trying to protect themselves, all of that. So that actually shows human resilience. And for a minute, she was actually that lady. नाम भी बताऊंगा आपको. Ella. She was narrating. She was actually explaining things. Suddenly she said a personal incident. Then she went off into her this thing, and it actually showed how resilient and how strong she was. The kids. They have 4 kids, and she was actually carrying the 4th kid when that
Okay.
incident happened. So, there's the resilience again. Of course, community supporting her. All of that, and the other thing was something which heart touching or something felt closely was how close. How vocal people were,
About the war?
or just generally about the government, what the perceived,
Okay.
the perception of how the government responded or did not respond, whatever, shortfalls, whatever is it. They were just generally vocal about it. They were quite
Okay.
vocal and candid about expressing their,
Thoughts?
thoughts and their how they felt. And we also went to North Israel, where we went another lady who lost her daughter.
Okay.
And who actually became quite emotional, In fact, they saw the rocket land in a ground where children were playing. The daughter was the second of 3 kids,
Okay.
2 sons, and she was the second one. And she became quite emotional, and she was a good player. She was learning to play football, and
She had a beautiful life ahead.
and they were a good player, so there was recognition for FIFA, a lot of that. So, she went across, a lot of support and this thing which came in after that. So she actually got quite emotional. So first one was resilient, second one got quite emotional. So it was different facets of human life, from a pure public sense. No again,
No
there's no
governments
geopolitics
involved.
or anything. It's just about humans. So it was touching in that way. You know.
दिनकर, मैं आपसे यहाँ पे ये भी समझना चाहती हूँ, इंडिया में अनफॉर्चुनेटली लास्ट ईयर ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में भी हमने लोगों को खोया है. वो एक बहुत ही ब्रीफ पीरियड था, बट बहुत ही टेंशन वाला माहौल था हमारे देश में. वॉर की स्मेल कैसी होती है? आपने 2 लोगों के इंसिडेंट्स रिकाउंट किए जो नॉर्मल एक इंसानों की बात है, जो ह्यूमन समझ रहे हैं सारे इमोशंस के साथ. वॉर की स्मेल कैसी होती है? हाउ इज़ रियल वॉर लाइक?
It's like many things, many hard things. I mean, war takes it to a different level because there's a toll. There's a cost, there is a toll, there is a human cost. So it looks great from the TV में देखने के लिए बहुत अच्छा होता है, you know. पढ़ के, you know, tanks rolling or, you know, guns blazing, fighters, you know, jets flying, taking off, launching something. Looks great. But the point is that, or in a way, war is glorified in so many ways, but there is a human aspect to it. I mean,
Exactly.
see again, Op Sindoor, that's one thing. I mean, in the recent past, अभी कोविड के बाद दुनिया में हर कहीं ना कहीं हमला हो ही रहा है.
True.
The world has been in conflict since post COVID.
World is not at peace since 2020. Let's
No,
agree.
there
to
has
it.
been too many conflicts. There have been several conflicts, some big ones, some small ones. See, that's one thing. See, the longer it goes, there is a fatigue, there is an aversion, then there is a realization.
Reality hits you.
Exactly. So the realization, the reality, you know, the ground reality hits you. So I'm sure, you know, I was in Ukraine when Prime Minister Modi was there.
Back in 2024.
Yeah, August 2024. It was just a short trip. I was only Kyiv. Okay, border area पे नहीं गया. But again, there also in fact वहाँ we heard a siren. जिस दिन हम we were there 2 days before the Prime Minister came in. So because we had getting into Ukraine was a longer process again. Because
And this was when
there's
you
war
were a
going.
journalist.
Yeah, I was a journalist with the Hindu. So वहाँ पे again we heard a siren. उस दिन रात को जिस दिन हम शाम को पहुँचे थे रात को we heard a siren. So but nothing. This is a very short one. They said it's okay again. But again, building had a bunker, you know, a safe room, identified. We were given instructions कि वहाँ से वहाँ जाना. In fact, Ukraine में there was a curfew in place. At that point of time, every day night there's a curfew, so you can't go. You need a permission. You know, रात को जाना था. You know, all of that. And again, one thing, people again just got used to it. You know, they have seen conflict.
They're living with it.
Exactly, they had seen conflict for 2 years already. Then 2.5 years, in fact, almost. It just became a part of life. You just live with it. You know, that normalization is a problem. It's like, for example, you know, a general analogy in our everyday life. It's like violence, blood and gore in our on movies and TV shows. एक ज़माने में you know, some crime was like we should be like, you know,
Taken
now
aback.
if you see the worst of the crime on TV being shown in the most explicit way, we are all normalized. हम बैठ के खाना भी खा रहे हैं, you know, बैठ पॉपकॉर्न लेके बैठे होते हैं, you know, even kids of all age groups, सब पूरा खानदान परिवार सब बैठ के watching the most violent movie on TV. We have normalized it.
Exactly.
So this is in a way, you know, this is, you know, war is a conflict, but this is actually, we have normalized that in, you know, so now we have also become ambivalent or, you know,
फर्क नहीं
this thing
पड़ता.
for the war also, you know, in so many ways. But it only hits you when it comes there. You know, that's something we have seen, you know, when we're, as, you know, as journalists going to, say, Kashmir, you know, see counter-insurgency operations, you know, being on the ground, conflicts happened. That was the case. But again, one quick point on Op Sindoor. Op Sindoor, thankfully, it was the best part of Op Sindoor was it was short and swift.
हाँ.
4 days, we said objectives met, we stopped it.
Restraint.
We stopped. We said, because we said, even first day when, after Pahalgam happened, night of May 6th or early morning of May 7th, when it was when the operation was launched, the Operation Sindoor proper, against the terrorist infrastructure was launched. That was hit. That, you know, 22 minutes, 23 minutes. That was done. 9 targets hit. Then India put out a statement saying we have done this. We are done. So then, see, it was a military action. It was you can call it defensive military action, but a military action was undertaken. But India also said we are finished. Now the buck on the escalation is actually in Pakistan's court, as India put it. No military target was hit. So when the message was sent to Pakistan on the military hotline, Pakistan said, okay, wait for a response, as officials told us, and now it's common knowledge. And Pakistan only hit military targets because there was no India did not have any terrorist targets to hit. The key differentiator is actually that there were no terrorist targets or infrastructure in India to hit. So
Exactly.
Pakistan hit
Military
military targets and also some civilian targets. So when that happened, it was a offense on. Then it was a attack on
India.
Indian sovereignty. So India had to respond. So then that's how things went that back and forth. And with each response, Indian response multiplied, amplified. बढ़ते गया इंडिया का जो 7 तारीख रात को 8, 9, 10 तारीख सुबह and 10th, so it stopped. So that was the best part of Sindhu because it was short, swift, measured, objective, stuck to the objective. So it was over. So ये नहीं कह सकते कि अगली बार क्या होगा, the escalation ladder, getting into the larger dynamics. क्या होगा, we can't predict. The point was, this time, it just played to the, among the few conflicts in the recent conflicts globally, among the, of consequence, big ones, which could have potentially escalated. This was one which
Stopped at the right time.
And we said done. So in that sense, that stands out from your what the point you made. So yeah, so broadly I hope that answers how
In
is war.
fact, moving on from the time you landed and जो आप लोगों से मिले, the human aspect of the conversation, I would like to now move on to the other aspect. आपने कई बार अपनी conversation में October 7th के attacks को refer किया है. So for viewers, I would like to tell them कि October 7, 2023 में Israel पे हमास ने अटैक किया था. That was a terrorist attack. और काफ़ी सारे लोगों ने इसराइलियों को उन्होंने बंदी बनाया था. खैर वो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट वहीं से चल रही है.
And the attack is also something, the sheer audacity and the planning of it.
Exactly.
So it would have been planned for a very long time. There was the aerial insertion. There were also then ground.
Israel had never thought
and there were
about
hundreds of people who came in.
it. Exactly.
So it also kind of, from a military strategic point of view, that also reinforces the importance of human int. See, increasingly, dunya is relying on electronic int, signals and electronic intelligence, like drones hai, satellites hai, ya interception ho, ye cyber ho, all of that. But the point is, human int, nothing. End of the day, that what thing what makes a difference is human int. For example, Lebanon mein, the number of tunnels discovered, Hezbollah ka tunnels discovered is of a different scale. That was discovered recently, and now that's what
By Israel?
Yeah, but they didn't realize they were there. When they could literally, the tunnels could accommodate a few hundred fully armed, equipped Hezbollah fighters.
Okay.
They were on the border, and they could sneak in, do all of that. The point was that pata nahi chala. The fact is, something else was happening, then something else came out, then they realized that extent of tunnels.
Okay.
So that's something, the lessons again, we have seen those tunnels again. Not that scale though is a different this thing, but in a way, on and off, we have seen tunnels in Rajasthan. BSF discovering some tunnels. So is that like, there were कुछ instances थे जहाँ पे we were surprised of इसका कैसे बना लिया. Same thing, this is multiplied different, several orders of magnitude. What Lebanon में जो discover किया था. So that remains a major concern because this vantage point, in fact, we were standing there, we were looking at one of the, going the peaks up from where now it's actually the Israeli army was sitting there. As someone said, oh, don't worry, there was a light blinking. We said, okay, it's our chap sitting there, don't worry.
Okay.
They might be just looking, but it's okay. But that's a vantage point.
Okay.
So in fact, that location reminded me of Kandahar on the line of control.
Okay.
The Kandahar bowl mein, when you stand there, crossing the Sadhana Pass, going there, it actually, Pakistan is on 3 sides.
Okay.
So it is the geography again, geography, terrain, how shape things or, why is it important. So wahan pe that situation is that. So once someone is armed fully, they have rockets or, more modern ammunition, it's just a straight line of sight. You can just fire, keep firing. So they said that's exactly one of the reasons, as on the ground someone explained, one of the officers was explaining to us saying that's important. So there's no way we can locate that till, there's definitive assurance or, guarantee given.
Okay.
So again, just to connect to the larger development on that, this agreement signed what Trump and the US is pushing, according to that, it says US will identify, they essentially want to keep Lebanese army now, in charge of safety and security as the buffer.
Okay.
so that Hezbollah does not,
Come
kind
in.
of, essentially it's Hezbollah, so broadly for Lebanon. So the idea is that they'll identify soldiers and personnel in the Lebanese army who are not aligned to Hezbollah, because that's a problem.
Okay.
That alignment of affinity, uh, becomes a problem. So they're supposed to identify them. US will train them and then put them along that sensitive areas, so they keep that, ensure there are no attacks on Israel, or keep that zone. And Israel army will be pulled back to a certain area where they'll be in a buffer zone or a neutral zone, buffer
Okay.
zone.
Okay.
So that's the arrangement. So you'll have to see how it goes. But that's remains an essential part of the red lines of how things will move forward.
ऑल्सो मूविंग ऑन, आपसे मैं एक चीज़ और समझना चाह रही हूँ कि अक्टूबर 7 के अटैक के बाद इसराइल बहुत ज़्यादा अग्रेसिव हो गया है, एंड इट इज़ नॉट जस्ट सेंडिंग अ मैसेज टू हमास और द गाजा स्ट्रिप और टू पैलेस्टीन. आपके व्यू पॉइंट में आपको लगता है कि ये मैसेजिंग पूरे रीजन को कर रहा है इसराइल?
See, region maybe. See, the thing is, बाकी countries का, so the real conflict in the region is, in a way, the overt or the direct one is actually Iran-Israel. In the sense, Iran on one side, Israel, of course, support, backed by US, and in a way, all the, I mean, if you see the अभी conflict देखा तो, in a way, all the बाकी countries का भी air defenses were all aligned with the US. So in a way, not that they are, say, what do you call, pro-Israel. But the point was their air defenses were actually lined up with the US. So anything fired by Iran was actually crossing multiple countries before it landed in Israel. That's the reality.
That's how-
And they were all, वो सब US के air defense है largely. They procured from the US largely, not all but most. Some of the South Korea का भी है वगैरह वगैरह, but largely they are all used air defenses. So that's the thing. And again, of course, there is the issue of the disproportionate use of force. The number of civilians killed, children killed, UN ने भी report निकाला. So that remains an issue. It may not be a message to the region. I don't think is required. See, in the Middle East, in the West Asia, again Middle East or the Persian Gulf, in the border region, Israel is a preeminent military power. Military potential wise, Israel has a distinct military potential. It has built that. Military ho, intelligence ho, they have built that. I mean,
over the years.
it's known. I mean, it's well known, well established. So I don't think that messaging is required in that sense. This is what has happened in the last 2 years. Is in a way, Israel single-handedly trying to, one is securing objectives is one thing. That's where again the issue of legitimate, addressing security concerns versus disproportionate use of force. That dynamic comes in. We keep hearing that. A lot of conflict here, but that distinctly comes in this case.
ओके आपने जैसे इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस की बात करी थी, मेरे दिमाग में वो सवाल हमेशा से था, क्योंकि इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ने अभी, इनफैक्ट यूएनएचआरसी ने अभी कुछ दिन पहले ही एक रिपोर्ट निकाली थी जिसमें दे सेड कि इजराइल के अटैक्स ने पैलेस्टीन के बच्चों का गाजा स्ट्रिप मेनली
Yeah.
वहाँ के बच्चों का बचपन ही ख़त्म कर दिया है. दे आर डेलिबरेटली अटैकिंग चिल्ड्रन ओवर देयर. सो आपको ऐसा लगता है कि हमास और इसराइल के बीच में पीस डील हो जाएगी? तो जिस तरीके से इसराइल ने हमास के लीडरशिप को ख़त्म किया है, तो हमास क्या पूरा ख़त्म हो जाएगा, वाइप आउट हो जाएगा, या हमास वो आइडियोलॉजी है, एक टेररिस्ट आइडियोलॉजी है जो कि वापस आएगी?
Yes, that's that's in terrorism, or in when peoples are concerned, हमेशा वो है. See, there are two different things. One is, it's a loop, cyclical loop. एक चीज़, वन एक मिलिट्री एक्शन करते हो कुछ टेररिस्ट को ये करने के लिए, बट उसके में कोलेटरल डैमेज होती है. इवन इफ आई एम नॉट, even if it's not deliberate targeting, if there is collateral damage, there is a public, or then that's actually motivating or pushing more people into supporting the cause or taking up arms. So then in that way you're creating the next generation of a new generation of terrorists. In that sense, that's a loop. The point is, यहाँ पे जो again there are two parts. One is the Israeli strikes in Gaza. The other is Israeli strikes in Lebanon. दोनों है. पहले गाजा में हुआ काफ़ी, and that's again you can debate कि deliberately किया है या it was collateral damage, just trying to take out, say, certain Hamas senior leaders उसमें. But either way, the point is it has killed people. That's the reality. And now that definitely हैज़ अ बेरिंग ऑन द पीपल ऑन द ग्राउंड. जो वहाँ पे रह रहा है उनका पूरा परिवार खत्म हो गया. सो इन दैट वे इट विल नाउ वहाँ पे जो बाकी उनका एक्सटेंड फैमिली है जो survivors है, they will obviously, some of them will be motivated or disgruntled
To
or
pick up the arms.
radicalized, or they are prone to radicalization. No, that's a moment of vulnerability. They are prone to radicalization. They may not be, but some terrorist element can exploit them, radicalize them, groom them into the cause for their ideology, radical ideology, and then use them as a pawn for suicide bombing or whatever. We have seen that again playing out. In India has also seen that. But the point is that's reality, and the scale at which the population the loss of public or civilians has happened is something. There are enough numbers to show that. So that definitely is something. So at what cost do you push? Where do you draw the line for legitimate security concerns versus irrational or disproportionate use of force? So that remains a question, and that's something I guess will remain an issue. And same thing also, just to add, also has happened in some ways. Again, there have been reports, keeps coming up. People have been raised now in Lebanon also. So again, that's an issue.
आप गाजा स्ट्रिप भी गए थे, गाजा क्रॉसिंग
Crossing पे we not go. We were at the crossing.
You were at the crossing.
In fact, just to add, we went to the crossing जहाँ पे aid जाती है. So all the aid comes to Israel. From there, it's sent across the crossings from the points where there are various points. Some controlled by the IDF, some controlled by other agency which is there.
Okay.
Here is the way. So they cross it across. There are points where they are put up all together. From there are international organizations local NGOs who kind of, again, they have to work with Hamas. There is no option. Or the local administration but between de facto or control etc. We'll have to work with them to distribute it further across.
Okay.
And the again, typically how smuggling or something happens. That's a legitimate concern again. How in the name of aid or supply chain chakkar mein you try to say smuggle in sensitive items, say chemicals, something a common chemical which you mix with something else can become a
Lethal.
explosive, or parts for vehicles, parts for something, bearings, we were shown some shoe ke andar, there are smuggling how it typically happens. So it's small pieces ikatha hoke it becomes a full thing which can become lethal, to be used against this thing. So that's a major concern. Okay. That's also one of the things to avoid. Obviously, it's a continuous game. Kuch, forces, security forces find something. The other, the adversary tries to improvise, find loopholes. Then again you improvise, you find something else. It's a matter of. So again, typical security may 9 times you may stop it, but that one time something goes in, it becomes a
problem.
So that's from the legitimate part, that's an issue.
Okay.
So again, leaving aside the disproportionality, so that's an issue.
दिनकर, आपने ना पॉडकास्ट को काफ़ी हैवी बना दिया क्योंकि आपने जिस तरीके से एक्सप्लेन किया, आई कैन एक्चुअली इमेजिन द वॉर जोन और ट्रक्स जा रहे हैं, उनमें सामान जा रहा है. दिनकर, आगे बढ़ते हैं. हमने हमेशा से देखा है कि इज़राइल और पाकिस्तान के बीच में भी कोई बहुत ख़ास दोस्ती नहीं रही है. अभी जो हाल फिलहाल में इंसिडेंट्स हुए हैं, ऐसी खबरें आई थी कि पाकिस्तान ने इज़राइल को धमकी दी when they were in Switzerland for the peace deal with J.D. Vance, US वाइस प्रेसिडेंट. तब ऐसी खबरें पाकिस्तान ने रिलीज़ की कि इज़राइल उनके फील्ड मार्शल को मारने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. एंड देन पाकिस्तान सेट कि सोचना भी मत. सो इज़राइल एंड पाकिस्तान, अगर हम दोनों कंट्रीज़ को देखें तो फ्यूचर क्या है? एंड आई एम श्योर इज़राइल इज़ मच अहेड ऑफ व्हाट पाकिस्तान इज़. व्हाट इज़ द फ्यूचर?
See, काफ़ी बार मैसेजिंग इज़ अ बिग थिंग. मोर देन जो होता है उसका मैसेजिंग का ये और ज़्यादा होता है. ये भी वैसी ही है. प्लान करते हो कुछ चल जाता है, कुछ नहीं. ये भी वैसे लग रहा है. क्योंकि देयर इज़ नो रीज़न. आई मीन आई कांट थिंक ऑफ अ रीज़न. और एज काफ़ी एक्सपर्ट ने भी इस पे सोशल मीडिया पे काफ़ी इसका चर्चा हुई थी. देयर इज़ नो रीज़न व्हाई इजराइल शुड टेक आउट पाकिस्तान फील्ड मार्शल. जस्ट डजंट मेक एनी सेंस.
एग्जैक्टली.
आई मीन हो गया whatever, ठीक है, पाकिस्तान played a role, they've been in the center stage of it. क्यों, क्या, that's a different discussion altogether. But all said and done, in fact the MOU is called Islamabad, उसमें नाम में इस्लामाबाद है. So they have managed to
get their
consolidate their role or forever etch their name in that in this process. Hey, but it just doesn't make sense. So I don't see any reason. It's a good thing to laugh, but not all. No, it sometimes sounds yes, but the point is keep itself relevant all the time. Reinvent itself, keep itself relevant. हम अभी नहीं, जब मैं स्कूल में था तब से सुन रहा हूँ कि पाकिस्तान का economy is collapsing. Their actually economy is actually in bad shape, and obviously global factors, their own internal growth rates, fault lines, so many things, some total of many things added, the COVID, then after something else, now the conflict in the Middle East, all of that, But the point is, they still managed to survive. They still managed to, offset, find some, relevance and, reassert themselves. पिछले साल, ऑप्सिंदौर, कारण जो भी है, ट्रम्प को, दे मैनेज टू, जब ट्रम्प ने क्लेम किया कि उन्होंने सीज फायर उन्होंने कराया, पाकिस्तान तुरंत, दे हैव नथिंग टू लूज, तो तुरंत कहा कि हाँ ट्रम्प के हाँ का तारीफ कर लिया, नोबेल पीस के लिए नॉमिनेट कर दिया. तो उस इसके दैट क्विक रिस्पॉन्स से दे मैनेज टू गेट in the good books of Trump. And तुरंत उसके बाद they offered rare earths, they were, mining in Pakistan, then cryptocurrency deals with Trump's family. Not necessarily US government. It's Trump's family deal. But the point is they managed to, they managed to get on the right side of the POTUS, President of the United States. And they have, consistently leveraged that. क्या हम वो कर पाते? I don't think so. Can you give, accept that and, get rolled over? I don't think so. So there are realities too. So when कोई कहे कि यार पाकिस्तान ने कर दिया तो ठीक है, fair enough. Let them. But the point is just to close this. Pakistan has managed to reinvent itself, keep it relevant, keep itself in the, on the right side. For whatever is, if you like it or don't like it, but they managed to.
I'm sure many people will not like it.
Exactly. So I'm saying, so the point is they managed to be. Some things you can laugh, but the point is that you can't. You have to acknowledge that, that they managed to.
लास्टली दिनकर, मैं आपसे, क्योंकि हमने पूरे इस पॉडकास्ट में वॉर की बात करी, अगर कोई यंगस्टर हमारा पॉडकास्ट देख रहा है, उसको आप एक्सप्लेन करना चाहेंगे कि टीवी पे बैठ के अगर उसको वॉर समझनी है, क्योंकि हर कोई इज़राइल नहीं जा सकता, हर कोई ईरान नहीं जा सकता, या हर कोई रशिया यूक्रेन नहीं जा सकता, और जाना भी नहीं चाहिए, अगर उसको वॉर समझनी है टीवी से, तो वो कैसे समझे?
सिर्फ एक इसमें रिलाई मत करना, बिकॉज जी एज जर्नलिस्ट हो, एज दिस थिंग, कुछ चीज़ लिख सकते हैं, कई चीज़ें लिख नहीं सकते. सो एवरीथिंग इज कॉन्टेक्सचुअल, 1. 2, there are different facets to a story. एक geopolitically एक चीज़ है, domestic, everyone has a political this thing. For example, in democracies, governments के लिए, to be in power is the first thing. Everything comes later. So जब वो situation आ जाती है, it becomes, for a government it's essential to stay in power. For a democratic country, dictators, autocracies is a different thing. For democracies, so that politics becomes, the overarching thing which dictates both the geopolitics and domestic issues. That becomes a barometer. बाकी चीज़ें domestic, ये सब एक चीज़ है. End of the day, there are people, इंसान है, वो अपना जिंदगी जी रहा है, दे कॉमन मैन, उनसे उन सबसे मतलब ही नहीं है. दे आर जस्ट ट्राइंग टू लिव देयर लाइफ्स. इज ऑल अ प्ले एट द हाई, वेरी वेरी हाई लेवल. सो देयर आर डिफरेंट लेवल्स टू इट. सो डोंट रिलाई ऑन वन. ट्राई टू ब्रॉड बेस. डोंट, everyone tries to put out their, something will be genuine, there'll be some tangent added, some trying to push their interest. So always broad base your reading, so then you can actually put different layers and form an informed opinion. It still may not be spot on. Probably some things we'll never know. We're also probably being played. Maybe. That's a great game. But the point is, at least you can broad base, form a better informed and be more aware of appreciate different tangents to a situation. And everything has multiple facets. Everything is not what it seems. There are always layers to it.
So ये बहुत ही heavy इमोशनली लोडेड पॉडकास्ट के लिए दिनकर पेरी, मैं आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ। आई एम रियली थैंकफुल टू यू। आपने अपना जिस तरीके से अकाउंट नरेट किया इज़राइल में लैंड होने से लेकर वहाँ से वापस आने तक के लिए, आई एम रियली थैंकफुल कि आपने वो अपनी सारे एक्सपीरियंसेस हमारे साथ शेयर किए। एंड व्यूअर्स, आपको ये पॉडकास्ट कैसा लगा? आई वुड रियली वेट फॉर योर कॉमेंट्स इन द कॉमेंट बॉक्स। थैंक यू सो मच मिस्टर दिनकर।
Thank you so much for having me.